We're just trying to celebrate the sensibility of moving things forward, wherever that's coming to life. And people mistake us to be specific to the nonprofit space because of the title, but we're not. You know, this sensibility is alive in business and politics and culture, and we're trying to cover that and push that wherever we see it.
Ever wonder how you can do good deeds and have a good business at the same time? Our guest today is Ben Goldhirsh, founder of Reason Pictures and Good Magazine, ventures dedicated to providing the platform for the ideas, people, and businesses that are driving change in the world today. Ben Goldhirsh, welcome to Dog and Pony.
Thanks so much. Pleasure to be here.
All right, we're going to start you off with a little segment we call Once Around the Track. It's where I ask you a series of questions. You give me quick answers. We'll do as many as we can in 30 seconds.
All right.
Ready? Yes, you're ready. Okay. Who's your business hero?
Father.
What was your first job?
Dishwasher.
How many employees do you have at Good?
32.
Who's your biggest advertiser?
Microsoft.
What superpower do you wish you had?
Speed.
How much is enough?
Enough is enough.
Is good an adjective or an adverb? Quick, quick, quick.
Both.
All right, you've been once around the track. All right, so you're the founder of Good Magazine. Tell us how you came about doing that.
Basically, it was frustrated that there wasn't really media targeted at me and my friends. You know, stuff that was relevant but also entertaining, stuff that was valuable but also framed with an aesthetic that catered to our interest. And said, all right, we can do that. We can fill that hole that exists in the newsstand, and we can fill that hole that exists in theaters, that exists online, that exists in person. There's all these different areas in the media landscape that are just wide open.
And you've got a unique mission statement for a magazine. It's not just about creating good media, it's about doing good at the same time.
I mean, we're just trying to celebrate the sensibility of moving things forward, wherever that's coming to life. And people mistake us to be specific to the nonprofit space because of the title, but we're not.
So your dad founded Inc. magazine.
He did.
What did you learn from him about running a magazine?
Not enough. I wish I'd paid more attention, but I certainly learned just to celebrate the entrepreneurial spirit, and that's from the way he was doing his business, but also what he was covering with the magazine. And it was a cool environment visiting as a kid, and everyone was really invested for a lot of the right reasons. And so that's a model that I'm trying to see, breathe here at Good.
Well, how did he create the right reasons, or the connection between the right reasons and his employees' desire, and how are you
I think
doing
it
that?
It wasn't born from a market interest, it was born from a very personal interest. He started a magazine called Sail first. He started it because there was no magazine for just people who wanted to sail. There was only, yachting for people who had money, and that wasn't him. And so he started that, but it was so hard starting that magazine that he said, there's nothing out there for people who are just, people trying to start businesses. There's only Forbes and Fortune for people who've already made it. And so he started Inc., and he really saw a real need. He wasn't just creating more media because he thought people would buy it.
What could be harder than starting a magazine? I mean, in the digital age right now, and you see high-profile failures every quarter in the magazine business. JFK Jr. had a really tough time with George. What makes you different?
I think if we were just starting a print publication, I'd be very nervous. But to me, Good's just a brand. Good represents viscerally and intellectually stimulating content across platforms. And so Good comes to life in print with a magazine. It comes to life online with goodmagazine.com. It comes to life in person with our live events. And it comes to life in feature films that we do as well. So hopefully that brand can continue into books, into music, into all across the spectrum of media. But wherever it goes, just kind of represent the sensibility.
So you mentioned Microsoft being your biggest partner. What do they bring to the table, or do your partners bring anything to the table besides just their ad dollars?
We're trying to find those partners to bring more and more, and we're trying to really work with partners, not just say, listen, buy an ad page or sponsor an event, but like, how do we create a marketing partnership where we serve your interests, we serve our financial interests, but then we actually serve our audience's interests? So can we do something together that's actually cool? Like Polo did something where they allowed us to throw events at their stores and bring in our nonprofit partners to table during that day. And then everyone who purchased product in the store that day could choose one of the nonprofit partners to donate 15% of the sale price, which across the country generated a bunch of money and a bunch of exposure for the partners and also exposure for Good. So that's the sort of integrated partnership that we're trying to create, but that's it's a step-by-step effort.
Okay, so you've been publishing Good for about a year now, and you said you've learned some things that worked and some things that didn't. What are some examples of some of the things that didn't work?
I think we're hoping for the audience to grow through word of mouth faster than than is realistic. And I think we need to say, all right, it's great doing things our way and saying, here, screw what everyone else is doing, let's try it and let's do what's cool and let's see if it catches on. At the same time, I think we need to be a little bit more not humble, but eager to digest some of the lessons that other companies are learning and employ some of the practices that they're employing to get this brand out there. And I think we need to push it. It can't just be pull through. Hopefully it's mostly pull through, but we have to figure out a way to make it easy.
For example?
For example, just the Choose Good campaign, is something that we're so proud about. It's generating a lot of energy, it's generating a lot of money. At the same time, 25,000 subscribers isn't enough. I want to get 100,000, I want to get 200,000. So how are we going to do that? And to be honest, we're facing that question we don't have the answer. And is it direct mail? I hate the idea of sending out 1,000, million pieces of mail. And I've never responded to it, so we can do it online. If we're going to do it online, how are we going to do it? So there's all these things that we really need to educate ourselves on and become great at.
All right, so now's the time for a segment we call None of Your Business.
All right.
And that's where I ask you slightly or very impolite questions to which you can either answer or tell me none of your business.
All right.
Let's start with the best one. How much are you worth?
None of your business.
Why not just give the money away?
Listen, I had that conversation with my father when he was ill, passing away, and he was like, listen, I'm just going to give all the money away. And for me, I was just like, oh, crap. And I was like, listen, man, I don't think, when you sold Sale Magazine, you didn't give all the money away. You started Inc., and you actually had you added a lot of value and generated a lot more money. So why don't you give me that opportunity?
Yeah.
I can do something that can create value and also not just create monetary value, but add a voice into the media that'll have an impact or a social impact that may be hard to measure, but certainly have an impact, and also generate more money to then give away in the future.
Is it more fun to be good or to be bad?
It's hard to separate the two.
Are you bringing a bad voice to the good world, or
I think
a good voice to the bad world?
we're bringing some teeth to the good space that hasn't been there before. And the reason why we chose the word good is that we were so tired of it being mired in this soft kind of mud, where do-gooder was a pejorative. And we're like, screw that. That's not where we're from.
All right, what's the worst magazine out there?
I'll say there's some of these magazines that are just celebrating certain elements of the culture. I'm not even going to name names because they're so powerful.
Give me an element of the culture, though.
Just like the cosmetic celebrity element of the culture, which it's like, you have to ask the question, on one hand, they're responding to market interest because they're the most successful magazines. On the other hand, you wonder if the market's just responding to what's available. If there's only so many people cooking, you're going to eat whatever they're cooking. So some of those magazines I get a little bit tired of seeing.
Sure. And besides your magazine, what's your favorite magazine?
The Economist.
There you go. All right. Anything you want to promote before we take off?
Yeah. October 12th, our anniversary party in Los Angeles. Go to goodmagazine.com to RSVP. It's a jam. I guarantee it. It'll be 2,000 great people. It's a good time. Also, subscribe to the magazine. Go to goodmagazine.com and do that. All the money goes to charity, and you get 6 issues of the best magazine on the newsstand, I think. And support us. You'll enjoy the content. I guarantee it. And you'll help something cool happen. So it's a big deal, and if you could help out, it would be much appreciated.
Right on. Ben
All
Goldhirsh.
Right. Thanks a lot.
Founder of Good Magazine. Thanks for joining us.
Right.
And as always, if you've got comments, questions, or suggestions for upcoming guests, you can email me, Paul Ollinger, at paul@dogandpony.com. Thanks for stopping by. See you next time.